Hello everyone. In this video I want to show you what I did to collect the Urban Planner achievement, which grants you the Promo Worldbreaker Gun. To get this achievement you have to play 3 maps without playing any units, so only spells and buildings allowed. And these maps are Sunbridge, Mow and Ocean. And I want to start off with the map Sunbridge. And I'm doing this in a 2-player mode, and my teammate is Dolavan, and he plays a similar deck to me, especially in the early phases. In T4 here he plays something different. But we both start off by playing Phase Towers, and if you spam a lot of Phase Towers, they actually are super strong in the early game. Especially because of their splash damage against all of the small units on Sunbridge. So I start off by placing a lot of Phase Towers and slowly warping them over to the spawner so your tier 1 doesn't get attacked anymore. And after this has been taken out, we take out the main base over here to get tier 2, and then just progress through the map as usual. So the beginning is a bit slow, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And the Phase Towers actually outrange the archers on these walls if you place them correctly, so I actually take out the walls here in the meantime. But as you can see, 7 Phase Towers in the beginning, just to get sure to have enough firepower for the first few engagements. And by the way, we are also using the gate switch mechanic, so we switch the gate every 30 seconds so we do not get attacked from the north. That's makes it much easier. Alright, and here we see already attacking the spawner. In the meantime, Dolavan is doing the same. He also took out the spawner and now attacks the tier 2 camp. But as you can see, Phase Towers with their relocatability is super strong in tier 1. Okay, and once you destroy enough of this wall, these archers actually come down on their own. And now something to note is that you cannot warp your Phase Towers into this area if you don't have any units in there. So instead I have to place a Phase Tower in there later by warping one Phase Tower really close to this wall and then building one inside. And only after it has been finished I can take this tier 2 here. By the way, I skipped this part because it's only one power well. Don't need any more power currently. And this Twilight Hate caster might be a bit tough to destroy. In the meantime, Dolavan notices the same thing, that he can't warp in there. So he's also making some progress with the Phase Towers, slow but steady. And these Twilight Slavers are sometimes a little bit tricky because they explode, and the Phase Towers always have their relocation debuff where they take more damage. Here you can see Dolavan already took this wall to trigger this camp and to have some defense. And here I just warp all of my towers in to take out the State Caster, and as you can see it actually deals a lot of damage against the Phase Towers. So my Phase Tower army gets decimated quite a bit here. But in the end, it does get destroyed. Now, something to note here is if you take only those 2 power worlds, you will not trigger an attack from this camp, but if you take all 3, you sometimes trigger an attack from there. It doesn't happen all the time, but this is why I usually skip taking all 3 power worlds at the same time. For tier 2 I go Shadow to get access to Undead Army, which I will use later to help Dolavan on the left side. And it will also be helpful in the final battle. And so now I can also build resource boosters to get much more power from there. And here I noticed that I can spawn a Phase Tower over this wall. And I pinged Dolavan to show him, but he already did it himself. Okay, and once this Phase Tower is up, I can take tier 3, which will be a Nature Orb. Here small attack is coming, but these phase towers are enough to defend it. And tier 3 is coming up. And here Dolevan was waiting for my tier 3 to go up, so he has to kill 2 Twilight Hate casters, and so he wants to have some Soul Shatters. Okay, and now with my Nature Orb I also start building a Sunken Temple, which will be very helpful later, and also more resource boosters. Basically what I will be doing in tier 4 is use Sunken Temple to get a lot of units, and transform them into units that grant Crown Presence using an Incubator. And then, together with Spell Support and Altar of Chaos, I think it's called, I will have enough firepower to take out the final boss. And here I sent in some of the units to trigger this attack, and I used a Frenetic Assault. And now I can go in with the Phase Towers and take out this camp. The second Sunken Temple being played, so I get even more of these Pest Creepers. And here Dolevan starts attacking, and I think I'm gonna give him a Soul Shatter soon, as soon as I have the power. Yeah, there we go. And now I already used these Pest Creepers to distract these towers. Meanwhile I can go in with the Phase Towers and take tier 4. And now with another Soul Shatter, Dolevan's tier 3 is also cleared. And he picks up his tier 3. And by the way, he goes Shadow and Triple Fire, so we can have Comet Catchers in tier 4. Here I send in just some Pest Creepers to deal a little bit of damage, but this is probably not that relevant anyways. And now the first Altar of Chaos is up, and how this card works is that you have to sacrifice cards into it, and then its second ammo bar fills up. And the higher the ammo bar is, the more damage its bombs deal. And so the idea is to fill it up as much as possible and then just one-shot everything in this camp. And so I start off sacrificing some of the some of the Pest Creepers, but then I noticed they don't have that much HP, so they actually do not fill up this building a lot. So instead I use the Incubators to transform them into Mutating Frenzies first, which have much more HP, and thus fill up the Altar of Chaos much more. And then you need just 4 Mutating Frenzies to fill up an Altar of Chaos, and maybe one more Pest Creeper or so to have it at full. There we go, and now I transform some of the Pest Creepers to Mutating Frenzies. I had to warp them over because I blocked my own path. But this Mutating Frenzy now grants Crown Presence. It does have its ability active, so it's constantly losing HP. But I can just run it in and then use a green piece on this camp, so nothing attacks, as you can see here. And then the first Nether Bomb being placed from the Shrine of Altar of Chaos. And once it explodes, everything that was standing in front of the Power Shrine died. And with a second bomb ready from the second Altar of Chaos, I can run the Mutating Frenzy back in. Use green piece, another Nether Bomb. And the first Power Shrine is gone. Now, over here, Dolevan is using Amber Monument to get tier 4 earlier than having to clear this camp. And he starts building Comet Catchers, which are also a super strong tier 4 weapon. In the meantime, I build more Incubators, more Altars of Chaos, so we have more bombs available in the end, and I keep on filling them up using Incubator on the Pest Creepers and sacrificing the Pest Creepers into the Altar of Chaos. Now Dolevan is pinging, so we can attack over there. And as you can see, power is really not an issue currently. I'm sitting at over 1000 power. Here we see a cluster explosion and a fire spear being used, and here I use my undead army, so we have some units there. He makes sure they stay alive with a heal and... oh no, that was my heal and also a green piece. And so they run over here, and now the Comet Catcher meteors can start coming down, as we will see soon. I place another undead army to get more units again. And the first one already hit, but the Power Shrine survived, so now one more power one more common catcher should be enough to clear the space. And one more undead army, green piece, and some more comets, and this run is also gone. Now what is left is clearing the boss, and the most difficult part was actually taking out all of these Twilight Tree Fiends at the same time. So I run in with some Mutating Frenzies again to create Crown Presence and use heal and green piece to survive, and place 2 nether bombs. The problem was they were too close to each other, so one nether bomb killed the other one. Otherwise we would have already destroyed his shield. But now I just use Undead Army to get some more units in there, and Dolivan keeps on using Comet Catchers. I'm filling up my Altar of Chaos again. And constantly using Undead Army so Dolivan can keep on shooting his Comet Catchers down here. He's even more of them built up here. Okay, now all of the Altar of Chaos are filled up again. So soon I will run in again with more units. And we barely managed to get all of them down at once. Only one survived with a little bit of HP. So with one more shot and one more on that army it might be down, but their Mara goes in and revives them. But one nether bomb placed on the right, nether warp over there, and another nether bomb over there. Should take it out, but again they respawn, so a little bit unfortunate over there. But now with some spell support we get down the final Tree Fiend. And now we just have to clear Mora, but this will be not a problem with lots of Comet Catchers, Fire Spheres and Altar of Chaos, which I'm right now filling up again. And here come the first Comet Catcher shots. And I keep on using Undead Army so Dolivan can keep on shooting. And here we see the first Sunken Temple is already, not Sunken Temple, Altar of Chaos is already filled up. Second one almost. But Mora's already almost half dead from just the Comet Catcher shots.
Destroy the tree fiends that keep his magical shield up. They will revive each other. Try to destroy them all at once.
And now come in some Mutating Frenzies, so I can place a Nether Bomb, Fire Sphere, Inferno, Nether Bomb, and that should be enough. There was another Fire Sphere, and now Mora is defeated. Alright, so this was the first map that we had to clear. The second map you had to do is Mo, which I used a different deck for. The idea here was in the early tiers to not use Face Tower, but instead support Mo a lot, so he can basically be a one-man army clearing the first half of the map, and then in the end I will also use Altar of Chaos for the final boss fight. For the second map, which was Mo, the idea was slightly different. Here I did not use Face Towers in the beginning, but I just supported Mo, so he can be a one-man army to clear out the first half of the map, all the way up to the Banzai Lord and even a bit further, and then later use Altar of Chaos to clear out the final bosses here. Okay, so I started off by placing a Mark of the Keeper here, but it gets immediately destroyed, but I have to do this to get Crown Presence of Mo. And then I will place one Mark of the Keeper here, so the birds which spawn later cannot attack my tier 1. And I'm playing Nature tier 1, so I already have access to heals. But the first few parts Mo can do on his own. And later I will build even more Mark of the Keepers along this way, so there will be a lot of birds spawning here and they will just be flying back and forth and not be bothering me. Here I build tier 2 and second Mark of the Keeper, and make sure if you do this that their auras actually overlap, so you can see the preview of that, because if you have a gap in between then the birds might attack something. And here another Stampede hitting all 3 of these buildings. And luckily Mo has a lot of HP, so this beginning is not really a concern if he dies, but it's just more a question of patience. So if you keep on, just keep on attacking, he probably won't die. Okay, bandit gun station taken out. These small squad units can be a little bit tedious, but if you run over them, you can take them out rather quickly. I'm taking another power well and placing a third Mark of the Keeper. And now something weird will happen soon. Mo will punch some of these birds very far away. So you have to take out all of these birds before Mo can stampede through there. So... And especially these ones can be annoying because they sometimes fly over the wall, and so you have to lure them back behind the wall in order to kill them. But I also have to destroy these birds, so Mo runs over there. And some of those birds just get slapped all the way back here. I have no clue why that happened, but I thought it was kind of funny. But the problem now was that I still have to take them out, so I have to destroy this Mark of the Keeper, run with Mo all the way there, and then build the Mark of the Keeper again. Now I'm already at tier 2, which I built Shadow, so I can have access to Life Weaving and Tranquility in tier 2. Okay, so now we can stampede through this wall with Mo. And take another power well quickly before this building turns hostile and we cannot take this power well anymore. And by the way, also make sure that these Mark of the Keepers have an overlap in their effects. And another Mark of the Keeper to protect this area from birds. And here these Bandit Lieutenants can do a lot of damage versus XL units with their counter and especially with their shot. As you can see here, super strong attack. So I think I will use Life Weaving on Mo later, as well as Tranquility on one of these Bandit Lieutenants. So they actually don't get to shoot me. And even Unholy Power and Curse of Oink. Here Tranquility is used, so it takes more damage and cannot attack. And I start constructing the first Sunken Temple down here, which I'm going to use later to fill up Altar of Chaos again. Okay, and most cleaning the last part of this camp. Meanwhile, you can see how these Mark of the Keepers prevent all of these birds from attacking, so with this chain, everything down here is safe. For tier 3, I'm taking Shadow again to get access to Frenetic Assault and Infect. I stampede through the wall, just to trigger the next sequence. And then I start running up there with some Pest Creepers, but they get immediately shot by the gun position, so I decided, okay, that's probably not worth it. Instead, I'm going to heal up Mo and then use Mo together with buffs to get through there. And this section can be a bit tricky because these Banzai birds deal a lot of damage against Mo. So if you just run in there carelessly, he might actually die. So what I'm doing is I'm using Life Weaving on him. So if one bird explodes close to him, the Life Weaving reflect damage will kill all of the other birds in the area. First of all, Thunderstorm to take out some of these Banzai birds and damage on the Wind Hunter. And the Wind Hunter is taken care of with Tranquility and Unholy Power on Mo. And as you can see, also Life Weaving on Mo. Okay, and here you can see another Life Weaving, so these birds immediately die once Mo gets attacked. And now you can see the trick with... Oh no, that was a stampede. But I think we can also later see the trick where one bird explodes and the other birds die. Here picking up another power well. And now I use Life Weaving on Mo, so one of the birds explodes but the other birds still die. And I also send him some Pest Creepers for backup, but they don't actually do that much. Here I use Tranquility on Mo to get some healing and also to deal more damage. I retreat for a moment because Mo is low on health, and up here with all of these birds, the Banzai Lord and this gun position, a lot of damage can be dealt to Mo. But now I decided to go in with all of the buffs activated on Mo. And some heal spam with Surge of Light. Stampede to take out all of these buildings and some of the birds on the way. And now heal support and buffs should be enough to take out the Banzai Lord, even though it is close in the end. As you can see, dropping below 1000 HP at some points. Okay, but now this part is taken care of, and now we have to trigger this sequence where a Quick appears. First of all, taking 2 power wells. And Mo can heal up next to them. By the way, down here I'm also building a Necroblaster and a Sunken Temple, so because later there will be a Moloch, a Bandit Tortogun appearing back here, which will otherwise take out the Monument because it's a melee unit. So I built some defense, a Necroblaster together with Sunken Temple. The Sunken Temple units will die, fill up the Necroblaster, and the Necroblaster takes out the birds. And the Church of Negation is here for the Tortogun. Okay, here I stepped into the circle for a short moment, so Quick appears in the next sequence triggers. I built up some defense, meanwhile clipping Mo into the terrain, and he walks around there. This was not intended, but he also finds his way back. And the reason I built a defense here is because later there will, or actually quite early, a huge attack will come onto this wall which I have to defend. Meanwhile, down here I was a bit careless and 2 Wind Hunters attacked my monument and actually destroyed it. So I should have built one more Mark of the Keeper here, which I will later do. But for now I have to take them out. And to do that I run down here with Mo again, because I don't have any units I could spawn, and I cannot keep them occupied long enough to build a Mark of the Keeper. So they just destroy it. I use Tranquility on one of them, but the other one can still attack my power well. And here you can already see the attack coming. Here I use 2 Necroblasters and a Sunken Temple. But these spawns of the Sunken Temple take too long, and this attack deals a huge amount of damage already. I saved this power well using some Curse of Oinks. And now with Mo I take out the Wind Hunters. Alright, and now with one more Mark of the Keeper, this area down here is really safe now, and I can run here with Mo and retake the monument. And up here I should probably use something like Frenetic Assault, but I just stall it with Curse of Oink. And the first few shots coming from the Necroblaster, but not enough to take out this army. Oh, I couldn't use Frenetic Assault because I was only tier 2. But now tier 3 is coming back up. Mo's running back up here. The Sunken Temple also getting destroyed, but I think I can save this power well still. And now tier 3 is back up again, so I can use Thunderstorm. I still did not use Frenetic Assault. No, there I did. So now this wave is taken care of. And a Necroplaster. Also dealing a lot of damage. I barely saved the wall, so it can be repaired. And then I rebuild the defense, because as you can see, defending off these attack waves also slowly drains the bandit morale. It doesn't drain it as much as going offensive. So later I will also go to the other side with Mo. Here you can see actually the Church of Negation also attacks some of these birds, so I sometimes have to repair it. But that's not that big of a deal. These Virtuosos can sometimes be annoying because they, with their horn, they can blow down this wall. And I think I can speed up a little bit here, because now I'm doing a lot of defending first. But now I decided that it's taking too long, and I went in with Mo. Again, buffing him using Frenetic Assault, Infect, and Thunderstorm on this camp. And the Stampede of Mo to take out all of these buildings. And as you can see, this drops the bandit morale much faster. I do not take this power well here because it's just tedious to defend and I still have a lot of power currently. Maybe I should have also taken a Furnace of Flesh together with a Sunken Temple as a constant void return. Here another Tranquility on the Bandit Lieutenant and Frenetic Assault in fact, and Thunderstorm being used. Stampede to take out all of the small units. And also make sure to keep on healing Mo constantly, because otherwise he takes a lot of damage. Because here we again have a Bandit Lieutenant, I use Curse of Oink, and I buff Mo. Frenetic Assault on the way station, because this way station heals super much HP. I wanted to Stampede all the way through here, but I sadly got blocked by the terrain over here. Now is another point where Mo is dropping rather low, so I try to defend it with Frenetic Assaults. And again, buffing Mo, always keeping the life weaving up is very important. But now this wave is taken care of. As you can see, I'm getting low on power, so maybe taking a Furnace of Flesh would have also been a good idea, as I said earlier. Now I can again Stampede through here, taking out a lot of buildings. And taking out the final gun position. As you see, the Bandit morale is already dropping rather low, at 26 already. Here I can finally take a power well, which will grant me a tier 4 later. By the way, since I do not have access to any flying units, I will not be clearing out these buildings, so I won't have access to this area, which I usually like to build up an army to go in here. So I will have to find something else. By the way, I still keep defending this position here using Necroblasters and spell support. And here another big wave is coming, so probably that's where my attention is currently. Yeah, and we see also Soul Shatter being used. And these Hornblowers always come in pairs of 2, so they always have enough damage to come get through the wall. Alright, now that this is defended and in the bottom Mo is healed up again, so I can go to the offense again. I decide to go through here so I can use Stampede against the small units. And buffs and spell support to take out all of these units. In the meantime, in the top here I still have to pay a little bit of attention to it so I don't get overwhelmed. But eventually I decide to go the other way with Mo, against Stampede against the small units. Maybe I should have saved it to take out all of these buildings at once. But I first take out this Lieutenant, again using Tranquility on him and Life Weaving on Mo. And that's already enough to take out all of the Bandit morale, so I still decide to clear this camp, so I have 2 more power wells, which I probably wouldn't have even needed. But I still took them. Alright, and now I need to find a place where I can build up my Altar of Chaos. I think I'm going to use this area up here. So I take this power wall to have some permanent ground presence there. Oh no, I actually built them back here where the Banzai Lord was. Again, I'm using 3 Altar of Chaos, Incubator and Sunken Temple. I have built 2 incubators. Maybe I should have built even more so I can fill up these buildings even faster. Typically 4 of them or so are a good choice. Alright, and then with these buildings filled up, I can go into the final camp. At first I did not want to run in there with Mo because there's a lot of burst damage here from the Raven battleships. Their big cannons deal a lot of damage, there are a lot of gun positions and also these Banzai birds. So instead I sent in a Mutating Frenzy together with Greenpeace, but it gets immediately taken out by one of the gun positions. So I decided it's better to probably use Mo and just buff him up with Life Weaving and Unholy Power. So I still have all of the Altar of Chaos filled up because I didn't even get to use them. Now 2 green peas, both affinities being used. And 1 bomb being placed over there gets immediately destroyed. But now 1 bomb placed there, and because all of these gun positions already shot, their shoot is on cooldown now. And a second placed there. Most impeding to take out one of them. And the bombs explode, and as you can see, it was actually quite close to taking Mo out, even though he was buffed, so be careful about that. But with that, this map is also cleared. And so now there's only 1 map left. Alright, and the final replay is on the map Ocean, which I personally thought was the most difficult one, especially because I just reused the same deck as in Mo, and I did not use a specialized deck for that. So what I did here is, in the beginning, not spawn anything on the mainland, but wait for the dropship to arrive. Oh, the minimap is actually bugged, so okay. And I used this dropship immediately to fly over here and take out this Bandit Windhunter. If you've never seen this, if you fly circles around the Bandit Windhunter, he actually does not attack you. But his shots barely miss the dropship. And if he is killed, then his corpses will be sucked up by this Death Ray summoner. And I place 1 squad of Sunstriders from the dropship, take this power well, and then sacrifice the Sunstriders, and the HP from 1 squad of Sunstriders together with the Windhunter is enough to actually get the Death Ray out. I built a Mark of the Keeper. In the end this was useless because it gets destroyed anyways, but I thought it could defend off some of the Raven ships. But yeah, in the end it didn't even help. But now I'm just waiting for the Death Ray summoner to summon the Death Ray. There we go. I fly it over here so it can heal over all of these buildings. And I use the leech guns to soak up his weapons so they get stronger using the HP of the dropship. But you have to constantly turn it off and on again so the dropship does not die but also has time to heal. And then switch them back on again until this yellow bar is completely full. This might take some while actually. But eventually it will be filled up. And then I use this Death Ray to fly to this island. And I start with Nature Tier 1, so I can use heals to heal the Death Ray. You can also free this Twilight Frenzy. Sadly I killed it myself, which was not that helpful. But you can use it to take out some of these units. And now the Death Ray. I've first take out this Sky Defender because it deals a lot of damage. And the Death Ray has a max HP of 2000, so a Surge of Light heals about 1300. So usually when it's around 700 HP, you should use a Surge of Light to heal it back up again. Now here's another important part. There is this bandit air attack coming with a lot of birds. And in order to defend this, I just place a Mark of the Keeper at my main base, which will make the units fly over here, but since they can't attack in the Mark of the Keeper range, they will just be stuck there and will be shot down by the monument. Alright, in the meantime, I still bring the dropship back so it can help clearing all of these birds. The dropship already cleared a huge part of this area. Now I use it to take out this wall, because I want to clear as much of this as possible, because I can only drop 1 squad of Sunstriders here and then they are on cooldown again, and I want to use them as good as possible. The dropship actually flew in one of these air defenders and died, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world, because I will get another one. Meanwhile, the Death Ray always being healed once he drops below 700 HP. And it's strong enough to take out most of this island together with field support. So here are some more Twilight units which you can actually use. And also taking out all of the bandit units. I do not actually fly in here because all of these Sky Rakes deal a lot of damage versus the Death Ray. By the way, down here, I don't know if you saw it, but actually the Mark of the Keeper prevented the birds from attacking, so none of my buildings actually got harmed. Okay. Then I take out this Twilight Frenzy, so it's out of the way. And I fly the dropship back here. And by the way, soon the first bandit ship will arrive, and those will be rather annoying later. Here I made the wrong decision to already take this monument, but because this now triggered the aggro of the Raven ship, so I should have waited a little bit and then this wouldn't have been destroyed, so I basically wasted 300 power there. Okay. So now I'm just waiting. I could have intercepted it with my ships maybe, but I just thought, okay, if a few of them fly here, that's not a problem. But now you will see what the general plan is for this map. Every time a raid ship arrives from either the south, southwest, the west, or the northwest, I will fly both of my ships down here, and they are enough to take it out, especially if you use heal support. And also, now that I'm tier 2, I also have access to things like life weaving, and this will be easily enough to take out these ships. And so I just always have to constantly fly around with these ships to the place where the Raven battleships spawn. And as you can see, they were taken out quite easily. Over here I built my first sunken temple, so I can take out the final of these units and actually make sure to trigger all of these mines, so you don't get surprised by them. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm now starting to clear this main island because I took tier 2 over here, and this will be my tier 3 over here. And I did this by playing lots of sunken temples in the main base. As you can see, I'm building up to 5 right now. And the reason for this is I need a lot of units because the first thing I have to take out is this bandit way station, because if I otherwise damage some units, the way station will just heal them back up again and it will be all in vain. Over here I took another power well, another Mark of the Keeper, which doesn't actually do anything. And this attack actually takes quite a while to complete. I flew both ships down here because the next attack is coming from down there. And here you can later see why this Mark of the Keeper was useless, because the ship can outrange it. But these two ships are enough to take it out. Maybe if I would have brought Nether Warp, I could have just warped it into the range, but I forgot to bring Nether Warp, so that's rather annoying. Here I had to stop the attack for a moment. I was constantly standing in the pest creepers, but this made the bandit stalkers come down here, and with the bandit stalkers in there they died too fast, so they couldn't even reach the way station. So I stopped the attack for a moment, the bandit stalkers ran back up there, and now I can send them back in again. So I get some damage in on the way station and also on this bandit launcher. And here I again paused for a moment so they can run back. And now with even more pest creepers, 20 of them, I can run in there. And this is now enough to take out the way station, and once this is destroyed, they can now focus on the units, and also this bandit launcher is gone, which is also quite nice. And now slowly but surely all of these units will be killed. Especially this bandit stalker is annoying because he deals extra damage against small units and has life stealer, so you can see how long he survived. These bandit snipers are not that big of a problem because they aren't really that good against small units. Here you can see again a bandit ship taken out. And a constant swarm of pest creepers. Now a bandit ship will be arriving from the east, and this is actually something I will not be taking care of. I will just let that one fly to the middle together with this one, because I just have to make sure it's not more than 5, but 2 of them is still fine. I fly over here with the dropship because I will need some ground presence to take my tier 3. So I will just fly over here, drop some Sunstriders and then fly back. I always fly a huge circle around that bandit Sky Defender because they are really dangerous to the dropships. And tier 3 also Shadow. Alright. And now I basically don't need these sunken temples anymore, so I will also destroy them soon. And here I used mainly the dropship, but also some Sunstriders with spell support to take out all of these units over here, so I have access to this teleporter. And now the further plan for this map is to spawn some units over here, mainly the pest creepers, and also hide some of the Sunstriders in there, put all of them on the teleporter, teleport them to this island, and then immediately, without even engaging here, use the teleporter again to get to this island, and then clear this island. But this is also really dangerous because there are 3 gunners just waiting to shoot your units. So I will use Frenetic Assault on this way station, so they will first kill the way station and then each other. And as you can see, I already have some units waiting here to get teleported. Taking out the Bandit Launcher first. But there we go. First teleport, second teleport, and now Frenetic Assault onto this. But they still get taken out by the artillery. But now I still got a Soul Shatter in there. But as you can see, they already deal a lot of damage versus each other, so I now only have to repeat this a few more times. So I will speed that up again. And by the way, the ships are still being microed to take out these battleships every time they come from south, southwest or west, and later also the ones coming from northwest. Okay. So now I have some Sunstriders and Pest Creepers again, warp them up here. And now I used Curse of Oink and Frenetic Assault again. But this did not take them out fully yet, so I have to do one more round.
Your forces are under attack.
So probably waiting for Sunstrider charges again. Ah no, never mind. Now I actually also fly the ships closer, so I can use them as support and clear this island in the meantime. Alright, I flew in the dropship. But then... Oh yeah, I also had the Sunstriders in there, so Frenetic Assault, Thunderstorm takes all of this out. And then I can just drop some more Sunstriders up there. Oh no, actually the dropship gets destroyed from the leech life of the Death Ray, which was rather unfortunate, something you should avoid. Okay, we already have 3 ships there, so not that much room left. So I use the Death Ray again and the new dropship that just arrived to fly over there. And in the meantime I use some more Pest Creepers. So I constantly keep sending them over here so I can warp them around the island. Even though they don't do a lot, as long as they can deal a little bit of damage against the artillery, that's already progress. Alright, and I teleported up here again, as you can see. Just slowly chipping away at the artillery and also at the Sky Defenders. And taking out another battleship. Okay, now I fly this dropship up here and just drop some Sunstriders to take my tier 4. And this will make stuff a lot easier. Sunstriders being deployed. Taking 2 power walls and another nature orb, so again I'm using the same deck as in the Mo mission. So I have access to Green Piece to silence the ships. And there will now be a Raven ship coming from the south, so again I fly the dropship and the Death Ray down there. It's very important to not lose Death Ray because it's probably the only the thing that makes this map possible. Now here I placed some Necroblasters. They were a complete waste. I didn't even need them at all, but they were still there. And again Incubators to turn the Pest Creepers into Mutating Frenzies. Then I will sacrifice them into Altar of Chaos. And the idea will be the same as in the other maps. I will use a Mutating Frenzy, put it on the teleporter, teleport it over here to the final island, use Green Piece, and then place another bomb which takes out everything in its radius. And another battleship being taken out. And now again some microing around of the pest creepers, because some of the Twilight Frenzy, mutating frenzies get stuck between all of these buildings, so I have to run them over there and then transform them into mutating frenzies once they're over there and then sacrifice them. So this takes a bit of time, the filling up. Here I'm flying the dropship and the death ray up here, so they can defend up here again. I did try to use a Church of Negation for defense, but sadly the battleships also outrange the Church of Negation. So I try to use Greenpeace so it flies closer, but it does not. So I place a second Church of Negation. So this one then can disintegrate the battleship, but this will not be a long-term solution. Okay, first Altar of Chaos is filled up, second one as well. Catching another battleship in the bottom left. And filling up even more Altar of Chaos. Okay, and now I have 3 nether bombs ready, so I run some pest creepers over there and turn them into mutating frenzies, which I will then use to teleport across all of these islands. I use 4 of them, so they actually are a bit more tanky. I keep healing them so they do not get destroyed by the bandit artillery. And now this island is also taken care of. Next thing, I will teleport them to this big main island. I think I use another heal on them first, so yeah, there we go. Oh, I first take out one more ship maybe. Let's speed up a little bit. Yeah, probably I'm taking out another ship. Yeah. Alright, and then here I use Greenpeace and probably also a second Greenpeace. Oh no, here we see already the nether bomb being placed. I make sure to get the frenzies out of its range so that they don't soak up all of the damage. And it explodes. One more nether bomb getting out, another Greenpeace, so all of these units will also die. There we go. Now I just have to repeat this a few more times. So again, I'm turning them into frenzies, filling up all of the Altar of Chaos. And getting 4 of them ready to be ported. And I immediately port them over here. And here I don't even use a nether bomb yet, but just they do deal a lot of damage on their own also, because they have 2100 damage. And have their Death Wish ability active, so they even deal 30% more. And they have XL counter, so... Yeah, I did a little bit of a misplay. I should have taken this power well so they keep on healing. I forgot this, and so they will just die, which is rather unfortunate. I use one of them to run in, use Greenpeace and place another bomb to take out probably already 2 of the battleships and this way station and the gunner. A second one over here. And a third one over there. And another heal and another Greenpeace, so it actually gets through. And with that, a huge part of the island is already cleared. As you can see, if I would have kept them, I could have just run in again, but this way I have to make some more mutating frenzies and sacrifice them and then teleport them over. So as you can see, there they died. Here another ship was defended. Alright, this time I even just used 1 mutating frenzy instead of 4. Teleported all the way over here, and now I took this power well so it can heal up there. And I place a Sunken Temple and Incubator so I can make mutating frenzies on this island as well and don't have to teleport them over all the time. I used a Thunderstorm to take out some units here, Greenpeace, and a Nether Bomb. Or even 2 Nether Bombs. And with that, the main island is cleared. Only 1 Sky Defender left, which I take out with Mutating Frenzy. And now for the final part, I did not really come prepared for that, so this took me a little bit by surprise, and I lose a lot of stuff during that final stage. I also did not take this power wall, which was again stupid. Okay, but let's just wait a little bit longer. I placed these 2 units down there. Oh no, they were still defending a ship. So, let's just see how I deal with this final onslaught. Now I actually build a power well. And something to note here is that Mo has 35,000 HP, so he actually can tank the ships for quite a while. Not forever, but for some while. So these battleships already destroyed this Church of Negation. I use Green Peace to slow them down. And as you can see, they're coming from all directions, but mostly those are the important ones for now. So over here, I played a Church of Negation, and if I had Nether Warp, I could warp the ships in there. But sadly, without, they just outrange and can kill it from a long range.
A new dropship has arrived.
So in the top left, they also start attacking my monument,
Well is under attack.
which is rather unfortunate. And over here, I used Green Peace, so they get slowed down by a little bit. And
The monument has been destroyed.
yeah, top left, the monument gets destroyed, so I did not save that one. But here I played out another Mutating Frenzy using Incubator and Sunken Temple.
Your forces are under attack.
And I'm trying to run this in here as fast as possible to have spell support to take them out. These bandit ships, I'm not doing anything about it, I'm just slowing them down using Curse of Oink and maybe even Green Peace, but they are slowly killing everything on this island, which is rather unfortunate. And here I used Frenetic Assault and Infect on them. And since I used Frenetic Assault on them, they will actually, or at least 2 of them, or no, even all of them will just stop there and don't know where to go next. So this is quite good for me. Also these ones are stuck there. But here are some ships which will soon start to attack Mo, which is not a good thing. Here we have 2 more battleships which take out my base on this island. I did use Frenetic Assault, but I'm not sure if this is enough to take them out. Probably not. Not quite. So they also will soon start to attack Mo. Meanwhile, I tried to do something about them using Frenetic Assaults and Thunderstorm, Infects, everything I have, but unfortunately it's not quite enough. Maybe one of them dies. Oh yeah, one of them dies, and the second one also should die soon after. Oh no, it's still survived. Now I placed some Sunstriders to warp them up here and over here again, so I finally have ground presence there. The dropship even came with it. And as you can see, Mo now is very low on health, so this was more of a last second defense. I did place another Nether Bomb with the Sunstriders, so those are taken out. The Sunstriders, I made sure to save them, so I still have ground presence. And the dropship barely takes out the last of those ships. Now the dropship will fly down here. And by the way, this was the last Nether Bomb available, because now all of my Altar of Chaos have been destroyed, as well as my tier 4, and I can take my tier 4 anytime soon. So now, and this is also the last dropship I have, so this is now a rather sticky situation. I fly in there, use all the spell support I have, especially the Life Weaving and Unholy Power to buff up the battleship. I use the Tranquility, so it can't attack. And with that I managed to kill it. Now there are only 2 squads of ships left, the one up here and those 3 ships over there, the ones which are stuck. So instead of rebuilding my tier 4, oh no, I actually do drop some more Sunstriders, which I can port up to the top left. But I also run in there, used Curse of Oink and Frenetic Assault, Soul Shatter, Thunderstorm, and this way already take out some of them, but one of them sadly survives. But it's only at low HP, so the dropship will take care of it. Again, using spells, so it or especially the buffs, so it does not die. Then flying around this air defense here, so it doesn't get caught by that. And now the final thing is taking out these 2 bandit Raven battleships up there. So I fly in with the dropship and buffs, and it takes out both of them. So this map took a lot of time, over 1 hour. It would have been much easier, especially with things such as what's it called? Nether Warp. And there are probably also some better strategies, maybe using Worldbreaker Gun or using, what's it called, Comet Catcher. But yeah, this strategy worked for me. I hope this video was helpful to some of you. Alright, so then, thank you all for watching and see you next time. Bye.